Hello and welcome back to Python Programming for O-Level Computer Science. This is video 5 and here we're going to be looking at for loops. Okay, so let's get started. We're on to video 5 out of a series of 12 which are going to be created to help you get started and get you well underway and ready for programming in either GCSE, IGCSE or O-Level. So what is a for loop? First of all, this video is all about for loops. Well, what is a for loop? Well, a for loop lets you repeat actions over and over again, making your code much more efficient and easy to manage. They're great when you need to iterate through a list, process a string, or run a block of code a specific number of times. We'll walk through the basics of setting up a for loop, show you how to use it with different data types, and explore some practical examples to help you understand how to use them in your own projects. Okay, so as I said, what's a for loop? Well, let's have a little look at it with the aid of a flow diagram. So we've got a for loop, and it lets Python repeat the same code, a certain number of times. It's also called a counting loop because you know how many times it will run before it starts. So I'm going to start and I'm going to set I to equal 1. Now, I is commonly used, and you'll see this a lot and think, what on earth am I using I for? But I generally stands for iteration, which basically means looping, or index, the index value. So we're going to start at 1. We're going to set the index to 1. Okay, and we're going to say repeat 10 times. Okay, this is a decision box in a flowchart. Has it repeated 10 times? So I've set it to 1. Has it repeated this loop 10 times? No, it hasn't. Okay, so I'm going to go and output 1. Okay, then I'm going to come down here and add +1. Okay, and put it back up here. Okay, so I'm going to count around the loop and set the value to 2. So it's come down here, we're looping around for a second time. Has it repeated 10 times? Well, no, it hasn't. It's counted 2. And it's going to run round and round and round and round again, like so, until it gets to 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, has it run around the 10th time? Well, it has now, so it's going to say yes and it's going to stop. Okay, so here we go. When it gets to 10, the loop would stop, so 10 would not be shown in the output. Okay, you've got all this in a flow diagram, with process boxes and decisions and outputs and inputs, but in Python we can just simply do it with 2 lines of code. Okay, so I'm going to take you over to Python and we'll have a little look at how this works. I'll also introduce you to some other wonderful things which we're going to use in terms of this range value here, the range within the parentheses. Okay, so I've just gone into Python idle and I've set 5 different examples of loops we can use. So let's go with this one. Loop from 1 to 9 inclusive. This is the example we've just seen. For I in range 1 to 10, print I. So if I can show you what this does, okay, it's going to print the values one after the other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So exactly what we've just described in the presentation. Just to make it a bit clearer though, what we could do, if I ghost this out and run this next one, print a string followed by the current number. So I've got a string in here, look, as you can see. I've not formatted this, but I've just put a string in there, and the next number is, and we've got I, the index value. So exactly the same. I'm just going to change this number, as you can see. It's a little bit different. Okay, run this module. Again, we've got to save it. So we've just added the string to this. We've gone 1 to 15, but once it's counted to 15, it stops the loop, so it ends at position 14. Okay, so let's go start one out. Starting on a different number for counting range 5 to 20. So we're going between 5 to 20. So nice and easy. I'm going to run the module, and it's starting at 5 and it's going up to, but not including 20. Okay, so you can see what these 2 values are doing here. We've got a start position and we've got an end position. But we can take this one step further. I'm going to be counting up this time in 2s, counting up in 2s. So for counting range, 2, 11, 2. What do we think this is going to do? Well, we've got the first number, which would be the start point, as before. So let's run module and show you. We've got the end point, which is 11, and then this is basically where there's the step. So I'm going to be counting up in 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we can put up to 3 different values in here, the start, the end, and the steps, the difference between each of the numbers. Okay, and then finally we can not only go forwards with this, we can go backwards. So if I show you this next one, backwards for countdown in range 10, 0, minus 1. So it's going to be counting down in ones, yeah, counting down from 10 to 0. So let's just run this module. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what we could do after that, I could just come down here and print blast off. But, and I'm going to show you a little trick here on why we need to consider indentation. You can see here there's an indent. So basically this repeat, this 4 countdown in range, this repeat here, it's going to repeat everything that's underneath it. It's just going to repeat this. Okay, and also it's going to repeat this, and it's going to repeat it 10 times. So if I show you, I run the module, okay, 10 blast off and everything else. We don't want that. It's not going to blast off at 10, at 9, and all the way down to 1. We need to say blast off after it's reached 1. Okay, so the way of doing that is basically put print back outside the loop. It's no longer in this little loop program here. It's outside the loop, almost like a separate line of code, a separate program. So run module, okay, 10 down to 1, blast off. Just consider the indentation on there. Okay, but as you can see, if I've put the colon in, and this is what we tend to forget, if I put the colon in and when I go to press return, it will automatically indent it. So if it doesn't indent it, you know you've probably missed off the colon. Okay, so that's it for the easy ones. Let me just save that. And again, here's the code we've just been looking at. So come back in and make it a little bit more difficult. So this time, I'm going to define a string value. I'm going to call this string value word. And in this word variable, yeah, I'm going to put a string hello world. Okay, I'm just going to ghost out the bottom bit. Define a string, loop through each character in this word in the string word. Okay, the character in word, print character, and I can just see I've missed a bracket off that. So let's run that. Run module. Okay, so it loops through each letter and prints off each letter, each character, yeah, of the word on its own line. Okay. Next, I'm going to run this next one. Define a list of fruits. So I've created a fruits list, fruits, and fruits equals apple, banana, and cherry. Okay. And this time I'm going to go for fruit in fruits, print fruit. Okay. So let's have a look. Fruit, because this could be anything. It's an index value. I could change that to I, but I'm going to leave it as fruit. So for fruit in fruits, it should print out the first one, the second one, and the third one. Let's have a little look at this. Run module. Okay, and it's printed out those 3 items in the list. Now imagine if you had a list with 50 items in, 1,000 items. Okay, you can do that basically with 3 lines of code. If you've got a massive long list, yeah, it will go through with just these 2 lines of code and print out every item in that list. Now the final one, if I run this line of code here, for now, so let's just run this and show you. Okay, I've also asked it to print out, to enumerate the fruits, basically to give me the index value of each of the item in the list. As you can see, list item 1, as the list always starts at 0 though, is the apple, then position 1 is the banana, and cherry is the 3rd item, or the 2nd in the list. Remember, it's just an index value. It's not apple is the 1st, banana is the 2nd, and cherry is the 3rd. Okay, but that's a nice little way, if you remember the enumerate, to give you the number of the item in the list. Okay, just keeps it nice and neat. And finally, if I look inside this one, I'm going to import turtle. I'm going to draw a picture, and with drawing the picture, so I'm going to import the turtle. Yeah, I'm going to set up a screen to draw my picture inside. Yeah, I'm going to call my turtle T, and I'm going to set the turtle speed, T speed, to 10, the maximum speed. Okay, and then I'm going to loop, I'm going to create 36 petals. Okay, 36 petals. But inside that loop, I'm going to actually draw, yeah, I'm going to actually draw a square that's 100. Yeah, it moves forward 100, it turns right, and then it moves forward again, then it turns right, because you can see this program here is looping round 4 times. But because it's inside this loop, it's going to repeat these 4 actions 36 times. But after, and you can see here, we're outside this inside loop, we're back onto this outside loop. Yeah, so we're out of the inside loop now, we're back into the outside loop, and it's going to turn right 10 degrees. So basically, remember, angles in a circle is 360. We're going to draw 36 petals, each with a 10-degree rotation. Okay, it's going to turn 10 degrees to the right. So let's have a little look. And here we can see it starts drawing the loop. And here we can see, I'll bring this in a little bit, it working through the loop until it's drawn 36 petals, all rotated around 10 degrees. Okay, so 36 petals rotated around at 10 degrees, and it's drawn a square which is 100 by 100. Now, if I wanted to make a small number of petals, i.e. I want it to loop round and half the petals, so we're going to do half of 36, which is obviously 18, yeah, and this time I'm going to turn right 20 degrees. Okay, run this program again, and you can see fewer petals and a greater rotation. Okay, nice and simple. Okay, so let's get back into the presentation. I'm going to give you a series of challenges for you to have a little go at. Okay, and as I've just mentioned, here are 5 more challenges for you to have a little go at. Nice and simple. Write a program that prints all even numbers from 2 to 20. Okay, sum of the first 10 numbers. Print characters in reverse. Okay, print list with index. And then a challenge in Turtle graphics, and create a flower that's got 12 petals, but each petal should be a square shape. Okay, good luck with that. Let me know if you need any assistance while you're doing this, or if you want to see what code I've done. But in the meantime, thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you next time. Please continue to ask questions, leave your comments, hit notifications, and please subscribe. And finally, if you wish to buy me a coffee, I'd be truly grateful. Please visit buymeacoffee.com/learning zone. Thank you very much indeed. See you next time. Bye for now.